Hi everyone, good evening.
Good
Welcome to
evening.
this session. I'm Shahrukh, the product manager for the grinding solution from RIECO Industries. I'm absolutely delighted to be your host today for the what I know will be the session packed with the insight, practical guidance, and the real world experience expertise. Today we are exploring one of the fastest growing and most exciting business frontliner in India, that is the dehydration and the extraction industry for food and vegetables. Dehydrated food processing is growing steadily due to the rising demand for convenient, uh, long shelf life product. It helps reduce the food waste and support global supply chain, Spec- specifically for the export markets. The industry is shifting towards advanced drying technologies like freeze and vacuum drying to improve the quality and nutrition. The India in India, strong agriculture availability and demand for the spice and vegetables further boost its potential. Overall, it is evolving into the value-added technology-driven segment. Whether you are a food entrepreneur looking for a next big opportunity, an investor evaluating this booming sector, or a plant engineer or an equipment buyer, or simply someone who has been watching this space growing and want to understand it better. In next 45 to 60 minutes are designed specifically and specially for you. So I'm honored to have with me today two exceptional industry experts. So let me take a moment to formally introduce them. So our first guest is a man who has dedicated his entire career, 35 years and counting, at intersection of agriculture, harvest technology, and food entrepreneurship. Mr. Atul Mardikar. He is the founder and CEO of Udyog Prerna and Prajakta Technologies Private Limited, based in Pune, Maharashtra. Uh, Udyog Prerna, which is beautifully translates the real inspiration of food entrepreneurs, began its journey as a magazine on entrepreneurship developed in the year 2000. It has since evolved into a full-fledged technology and turnkey project company, offering cutting-edge multiple commodity dehydration, turmeric process, uh, fluid extraction plant solutions. What what makes Mr. Atul sir a truly exceptional, um, who has proprietary innovations in that his company is now transferred to entrepreneurs across the India through a complete turnkey project. If you are thinking about setting a plant, dehydration or extraction plant from scratch, this man who has done it, lived it, and now helped others successfully replicate it. A warm welcome to Mr. Atul Mardikar, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nice.
So, on other hand, our other guest uh, is Mr. Gaurav Garg, who has spent over decades helping food entrepreneurs and business build, refine, and scale their food processing operations. He is the co-founder and CEO of Lilaram Enterprises, one of the India's most respected food and beverage processing consultancy firm based in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, with the team that carries a years of food processing experience. Lilaram Enterprises has delivered a turnkey greenfield and brownfield projects to several customers in dehydrations, snacks, spices, beverage, and much more. Gauravji has personally been involved in new product developments, R&Ds, recipe make creations, plant commissioning, and market entry strategy across the diverse food categories. So, I would welcome to the Mr. Gaurav Garg.
Thank you, Shahrukh.
So, before we move ahead, so with the audience we have, so who has any questions, they can drop a message. So in the end of the session or mid of the session, as per time permits us, we'll take up the questions with our guest and take their inputs and value add suggestions. So our session will be parted in 3 sections. The first section will be the in which will cover the market opportunities and business landscape. Then technical process and deep dive to know how about the processes involved in the dehydration and extractions. Later in the following this, we'll cover with the business strategies and scaling this business. So let me start with the big picture. Gauravji, from your point as a business consultant with the client across the spectrum, why are we seeing such explosive interest in dehydrated foods and vegetables market today? What is really driving this market? So can you share your thoughts on that?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Gaurav here. So, according to us, India is hardly processing 2 to 4% of the fresh fruits and vegetables, and majority of the fruits and vegetables are being, sold as a fresh category, and balance are being wasted by, not being able to reach the market or being bought by the end consumer. Various forms of fruits and vegetables are being processed into different category of food products, whether it's a B2B product or it's a direct to eat as a finished good product for a consumer. Whatever the forms of the product is not able to see the light of being utilized by either processing or by end consumer. So it's really important that the Indian food processing, which is as a world context, if we say, we are hardly processing of the global percentage, we say it's 6 to 10%. From the Indians perspective of production, it's hardly 2 to 4%. So there is a huge scope what we need to do, and with the current scenario wherein we see a lot of countries who don't have water, they cannot grow vegetables, they cannot grow fruits, they cannot process therefore. So they are few of the biggest importers of majority of the fruits and vegetables. So India has a huge potential. Then what farmers are able to not process goes down the waste when there is a glut period. So if we are able to take advantage with a tie-up with farmer or get a product which is at a cheaper price than the market price, we can still process it into a dehydrated product which has a better shelf life, ranging from 6 months to 2 years, depending on the type of dehydration technology we choose, and thereby take time to establish one's business and try to reach out to market for the sales. So the nutrient property of the fruit or vegetable is retained based on the technology, the percentage of dehydration, the type of color is retained, or the properties are retained based on the choice of various dehydration technology which we choose, and thereby chances are very high. So India being such a high populous country, on the other side, domestic consumption is also very high. Right from in the morning we use to make tea at every home. There is something which is called a ginger powder. This is also a dehydrated powder. So the first input of a food item comes from dehydration, which we consume in the form of a fresh ginger or a dehydrated ginger. So thereby we have huge potential of products being consumed in India also.
Yeah, really excellent insights by Gauravji. That gives us moving to our another question to Atul sir. So Atul sir, if someone is starting a fresh startup for this dehydration and extraction with a say certain budget, minimal budget. So which segment of dehydration and extraction should they be seriously looking at? Which offers is the best return on the investment?
Thank you for giving me a chance to participate with you. The question is very important and very critical, and it contains so many questions. Dehydration, number one, you have to understand it is a process or the technology to prepare the microcommodities. So you should have done the basic dehydration technology. In this we can remove the water, take the commodity or pre-cooked food from 90% to 7% slowly, and then the shelf life we get from 6 months to 2 years. Using this type of technology for the fresher, those who want to explore this sector, they should have to understand 3 to 4 major parameters before entering the sector or before doing the investment or doing the pre-feasibility report. Number one, in dehydration, market is not a problem. There is a very huge market available. Those who want to start with bulk manufacturing, that is, for example, tomato, carrot, cabbage, or spinach, coriander leaves, curry leaves, such a type of atom, if they want to process, the input capacity should not less than 2000 kg per batch. All these commodities you start with batch type of process, and when you are confident enough to develop the backward linkage, then you go for continuous dryer. The second number of investors, those are want to start some high profit margin products, and in the urban area with some what you call as intellectual inputs. Wheat grass, barley grass, or some active nutraceutical ingredients. Then the investment in plant and capacity or the input capacity, they can start from 100 or 200 kg. But the infrastructure required is compatible to minimum what you call as ISO 22018 standards. So these 2 points first you have to understand. Number 3, nowadays, lot of RTC products, ready to cook products, or midday meal programs are going on in all our states. Then they want to dehydrate or they want to manufacture dal khichdi or rice, sambar rice or rajma rice, such type of items. Then the input capacity they can start with minimum 500 kg per batch. Then it will be commercially viable. So, and for extraction project is a very high-tech project. It required minimum technical commercial feasibility because we are dealing basically in supercritical extraction, solvent extraction. The project capacity or the investment capacity is not less than 50 crore, and for supercritical extraction, the minimum viable investment capacity is 25 crores. So in the first phase, I will not advise to start with extraction. You first start with dehydration, and then gradually you can go for this extraction process. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Atulji. Very practical information for the all who want to start this startup, who are looking for this as a startup business. Okay. Moving forward, Gauravji, this will be for you. This, as Atul sir has said, so this space sounds incredibly promising, but it is not without its challenges. Okay, so from your experience and consulting businesses entering in the dehydration and extraction segment, what are the top challenges or pitfalls you see first for the first time entrepreneurs who encounters?
Okay. See, I've covered a deck of PPTs also I can run through so that people understand what all different types of dehydration exist.
Yes,
And
please.
I can run through product examples also. I can briefly run through on the process technology also and what
Mhm.
products can be done. And if I have to answer your question, there are key areas which any startup needs to understand. There are a lot of startups who are coming post COVID, I would say, and there are people who are coming with various level of investment from 30 lakhs to upwards. There is no upper limit of investment in dehydration, but people come as low as 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs to few crores, and on higher budgets also. What is critical is that we need to understand that we are doing what? We are vaporizing the water.
Right.
So first, we need to understand the process has to be something. Whatever startup comes to us, they first go to equipment manufacturer. This is the biggest drawback. I'll give an example. When we are ill, do we go to the equipment manufacturers of hospital equipments or surgical tools, or do we select the best doctor? We select the best doctor, right? So choose the best expert, whomsoever is there. There are many experts in the country. You can choose the best expert first. Let the expert understand your requirement, your budget, your challenges, and then you tell them that this is the maximum level of risk I'm going to take. This is the diversification, this is the land available or rental premise we are going. And then we would choose what is appropriate. Most of the time, people do not have basic, lab setup at their place. They do not have basic qualified staff at the place. They do not have bare minimum hygiene at their place. Forget about GMP and GHP. They don't have cleanliness at their place. People use MS equipments, MS trays. People expect to do dehydration using the lowest possible technology available, which is tray dehydrator. Now one needs to understand what are you dehydrating. If you want to do something which is a dehydration business, first your factory should be running 300 to at least 275 to 300 days minimum, if not 330. Okay, considering there is overall maintenance, breakdowns or seasonality. You should have a single product or a multiple product which is doable throughout the year with the same workforce available. Your staff should not be idle, the chimney should be firing always. If the chimney is not firing, that means you are paying salaries without reason. And then you panic as an entrepreneur. If you're a startup, you should do value added product. That means with small capex, you can start with premium value added products, which can be of fruits, herbs, flowers, vegetables, but something which is not a commodity. When we say commodity, I'll give you example. So when we talk of onion, garlic, ginger, potato, we call them a commodity because their truckload processing is important. Then only you are able to have a proper purchasing power of the raw material. If your purchasing price of a tomato, of a potato, of an onion is 20, 30, 60 rupees, we are talking of dehydration here. On a thumb rule, a 10 kg gives 1 kg. I'm saying a ballpark, assuming it's 90% is water and 10% is solids. We call the dry matter content, DMC. For those who are new, it would be relevant for you to understand, make notes. Dry matter content is the solid part of the any fruit, vegetable or herbs, and the balance is water. So there is a cost of fuel, whether it's a sunlight, it's electricity, it's diesel, it's any other form of hybrid fuel. You are going to be charged per hour. Then there are two types of process. One we call it a batch process, one it called a continuous process. So if you are a startup, you cannot go for continuous process. That's for sure. That's given. But can you dehydrate premium products and make value-added recipes out of it? Premium fruits, premixes, ready-to-cook products, or come out with some other value-added product apart from dehydration. If you think of dehydrating onion, garlic, ginger, you cannot do with a pilot or a small project because that is something which requires heavy raw material to be in feed first, and then The output is balanced depending on the DMC, whether it's 80% is water, or 70% is water, or 90% water, or 95% water, depending on the output. So it's really important that what value addition you are giving to the consumer. If you are a large enterprise who has a deep pocket, who can invest from 30 CR upwards, you can go with a continuous dehydrator or a spray dryer or a drum drying, depending on the type of products you are doing. If you are a startup, you should go for products such as vacuum drying or freeze drying. That is where you have a scope to play. You can come up with ready meals which are freeze dried, something what you eat in flights, wherein you have a kappa, you add water for 4 minutes, 8 minutes, and you hit the lid for 8 minutes, and then you try to consume it with a spoon or directly. That's a direct meal. So those kind of products one should go for. Don't go for commodity products with low investment. That will you will set up equipment basis some manufacturer. Only equipment manufacturer will gain. You will never gain. So that's the advice. And if anybody would love to go through PPT, I can quickly run through the various types, and it will be an eye opener for many.
Yeah, sure, Gauravji. We'll go through that PPT in due course of the session. So what you say is rightly, like if you the example what you said for the doctors. Okay, if we feel sick or ill, so we don't go to the uh, medicine manufacturer or the equipment manufacturer. Okay, we go to the doctor. So same wise, that's the thing. Everyone who is setting up a new plant or doing any kind of new thing, they first should consult with the industry expert without going directly and diving in the market. We have to be cautious and make our base strong with the studies and with the industry help of the industry experts. So as well you said about all the stages and category wise of investments, so how they can proceed. So that will be my next question to Atulji. Atulji, for our viewers who may be new into this space, okay, Gauravji has already covered few points. So can you give us the walk us through the end-to-end process of typical dehydrated vegetable powder plant, as you always help with the startups and have the knowledge of government subsidies. Okay, so that will be the helpful for the audience.
Okay. Thank you. We take this question into two parts. First of all, preparing the proposal. So I will first focus on the preparing the proposal. While preparing the proposal, one of the major part is your dehydration process and the equipment. Shahrukh has given me the basic assignment key to explain vegetable powder processing plant. So number one, in this we can consider the vegetables into 3 to 4 categories. Number one, leafy vegetables. While doing the leafy vegetables, for example, spinach, coriander leaves, curry leaves, spring onion, green garlic, chives, these are leafy or green vegetables. Number two, root vegetables, where carrot, beet, or radish, yam, such type of item will come. Third one is fruit vegetables, where you can consider green capsicum, red capsicum, green chili, then bottle gourd, bitter gourd, snake gourd, ash gourd. All these are fruit vegetables. And the next category is exotic vegetables. So the investor has to study first which category of vegetables in combination he or she can process throughout the year. Here they have to understand, for small investor, that is up to 2 ton per batch material, the radius of 100 kilometer. In that 100 kilometer, they should have to prepare the agriculture calendar. That harvesting season of those vegetables shortlisted, and identify the peak season and the lean season. This will give the shortlist or the product list. Now they have to understand, if they want to dehydrate leafy vegetable, the main component for process designing is chlorophyll, and the chlorophyll will burn after 48 degree. So they have to design the process where they are using hot air below 48 degree. Now I am focusing on the basic flow process flow chart. Here the number one, raw material inward from the warehouse or from the inward area. Number two, the raw material will come on the inspection conveyor or the inspection table, where the material will be inspected or pre-cutting if required. The roots or the what you call as infected part of the vegetables can be separated. That is called as inspection and pre-cutting. Then further, this material goes for your basically washing. Then it is again inspected and go for cutting, then if required blanching, and then for the batch process you should have to weigh the material and put into tray dryer or the batch dryer. The technology depend upon your investment. It may be pure what you call as electrical dryer, or partial vacuum dryer, or partial vacuum dryer, or heat pump dryer, or any other technology. So it depend upon your target market. The dryer temperature to be set before starting the dryer. You should have to sterilize the dryer to control the microbial load. Then the cycle of maybe from 6 hours to 23-24 hours, depend upon your location, external moisture, maturity of the material. You have to set the cycle. Then after every 3 to 4 hours you should have to reshuffle the material in the batch type of process. Then after what you the stipulated time of 6 hours, 18 hours, 12 hours, you have to check the material whether it is fully dried. Then cool the material, remove the material, inspect the material. If some portion may be wet or more than 10% moisture, again salt it, again dehydrate, and then you start the pulverizing process or size reduction process. After size reduction, this material goes to vibro for consistent particle size, and then you should do quality control, and then you have to pack the material either for your stock or for dispatch. This is the standard process flow chart. Now, while doing the business plan, if you are small or marginal investor or micro industry, the proposal has to be prepared as per the Prime Minister Micro Food Processing Scheme, which is now near about 30 lakhs to 50 lakh rupees, where you have to apply with the state agriculture, district agriculture officer in your state. If you want your project is little bit higher, up to 2 crore, you can take the advantage of agriculture infrastructure fund, where up to 2 crore the project will not require any collateral security. The funds are already available with the banks. So these two schemes are suitable at this moment for dehydration for the startup unit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That is a crystal clear process map, and what additional information what you have shared about the subsidies that government is processing. Okay, that was bang on. So, sir, also adding to this, we got one question about heat pump. So,
Yeah.
Atul sir, can you add something on that? Because I believe of course, we also discussed that. So many of people don't know about how to use the heat pump and when to use this. So please enlighten on that.
Okay. Heat pump is a technology which is
Right.
actually reverse of what you call chilling technology. If you consider electrical batch type dryer, here there are two cycles. One is open loop cycle and closed loop cycle. In the closed loop cycle, first you have to start closed loop cycle. The material is get heated, and at a certain stage, after 2 hours, 3 hours, lot of moisture is accumulated in the batch type dryer's cabinet. Then you have to open the vent and you have to pass this moisture outside the dryer. In this process, lot of hot air you are removing from the dryer, for which electrical consumption is little bit high. So the solution will be offered by heat pump technology. Heat pump is a thermodynamical process. The dryer is batch type dryer. There are heaters and the additional equipment which is known as heat pump is fitted in the cabinet dryer. After this closed loop cycle, if we want to remove this moisture will be sucked by heat pump, and that will absorb the heat, and the air is recirculated, and the water is condensed and throw away from the batch type of dryer. This is called as heat pump technology.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, moving to Gauravji, the business owner's biggest fear is the product rejection from B2B buyer or export customers. So, what are the quality benchmark that are absolutely non-negotiable in dehydrated food and vegetable powders?
Yeah. See, first of all, in any food product, in whether it's dehydrated or non-dehydrated, first we say that we are selling safety to the consumer. So if I can bring that product home for my kids, I can consume myself, my family can consume, I can sell it. That is the first, principle I should follow. So if the product is safe to consume for us, it is safe to consume for the third party. It should be hygienically processed. Third, it should be pure. What form of product? I'll give you a very practical case example. We were developing a gourmet popcorn for one of our clients in Bengal. We required to develop tomato flavored popcorn, something like we have in chips. We were looking for a original pure tomato powder, period, nothing more. No maltodextrin, no carrier, no excipient, no additive. We chose spray dried. We found a lot of carrier. We rejected that to be bought. Then we finally figured out a Pune-based solar manufacturer, and we thought that he being an IT personnel who started his startup, there would be a legitimacy of providing a pure form of product because he comes with the job, so he understands the specifications, the requirement, and thereby would supply. To our surprise, we could not use more than 2 grams and just threw away the entire product. So what is required is what is the application of the end consumer. If they are asking for something which is 100% pure, if you don't have it, say sir, we don't have it. If you are having some additive inside, please tell that this much is pure, this much is a carrier, or this much is the additive, which comes especially in case of products which have say spray dried. We can understand. But when somebody is asking for a specification, you don't meet the buyer's requirement, he will blacklist you. She will blacklist you. You will not be given a second chance. Second, we all talk about subsidy, we all talk about equipment, we all talk about profitability. Tell me something. How does one measure a moisture in the final product if you don't have a moisture meter in your factory? If you don't have a device to measure a temperature, 102 डिग्री 100 डिग्री, ऐसा होता है क्या? Do we do this? Even doctors cannot do it. So a final product should have a moisture, whatever percentage we are keeping as per specification. Government says कि rural में benefit देना है, subsidy देना है. Subsidy is fine, but you cannot negotiate on the quality. What if a stapler pin comes into your product and you eat it and digest it into your stomach? You eat a nail, you eat some jute thread, you eat some stone, you eat some bones. Is it good? So there is something which is to be done. This set of equipments are required. Food licenses are provided. They have certain criteria which has to be followed. People don't follow that. We say people buy certificates in India, whether it's a food license or it's any other certification for that matter. If you are not having these things in your factory, sooner or later you will face days wherein your inventories are there, your salaries are paid, and you are not able to move the product. If your product speaks for itself, it will move off the shelf. Yes, there will be competition. There will be a red ocean wherein you are fighting for quality, but then look into it that what is that you are giving to the customer. Is it a good quality raw material which is processed and then a good quality finished good is there, or are you using substandard or stale spoiled vegetable or a fruit and then processing it? So what goes in comes out. Even though you are doing dehydration, there is a tendency of charring, burning in various fruit, vegetable, herbs, which is often, pointed out by the quality personnel in the factory. So this has to be really understood. And then, like I said, look into it whether you're into a value-added business. So there are two businesses. One is for the masses, wherein you are at the high capacity processing, and one is for the classes. You are selling premium product. You have small capacity, small investment, but your product is very, very premium. So thereby they will be takers for those products. Something for your gut, something for PCOD, something for health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, or any particular ailments or any nutrition you're adding into that product. It should be pure. Whether you're making a premix tea, a coffee, or a noodle premix, or a ready-to-cook premix for halwa, for vada, idli, whatever you're making, it should add value. And commodity, it's the quality and the of course the volume which comes into play. So that is important.
Yeah.
In
Very well
Gujarat,
said,
we
sir.
have 120 plus, what you call dehydrators out there who are using belt dehydration. In Gujarat, Mahua is a place wherein the insolence, the sunlight time to the earth is very high. That's why most of the people are concentrated for onion, garlic, ginger in Mahua. Now, if I think people with X capacities in Mahua, I'll start with 100, 200, 500 kg and beat the guy who is manufacturing in Mahua, and that to 120 number. How is that possible? So that basic, insight has to be there, that my product is a commodity or a value-added product, and then go about in terms of expecting an outcome of the business.
Yeah, really well said, sir. These are the crucial points. Like what you said, this is exactly the technology. This is why the technology selection is not a commodity decision. It is a strategic one, and everyone should think wisely. So, if someone, this question will be for the both Gauravji and Atulji. So, I'm sure many of yours are grappling with this question. Should they start with a straightforward dehydration and powder making, or should they consider jumping into solvent based or CO2 extraction? So, what are your thought processes? Like, what is your advice to them? So, we'll start with the Gauravji.
See, it totally depends on the scale of business, like we said. Atulji also mentioned that solvent extraction. So there are three types of extraction, as we call it. There is steam distillation, which is the first basic way of extracting from any fruit, vegetable, herbs, or any other tuber or root. Second is there is solvent extraction, and third is supercritical extraction, wherein CO2 is used. So as we go up the ladder in terms of technology, the investments are higher and it becomes more scientific. It's like when you have worked into a laboratory in your school in a chemical lab, you might recall how peculiar you have to be with certain chemicals, certain acids. At times it might put a fire in the lab or something, right? Some breakage can happen. You can burn yourself or your neighbor, right? So we are talking of extracting. We are all here from from RIECO and other team. We are talking of clove, which is a spice. We get a clove at our house, right? Long हमारे घर में आती है. We consume that long. Does anybody know that it is a extracted long which is sold into the market? Atul ji is laughing already. It is an extracted clove which comes to our houses. We don't know. We feel it's a clove with a flower with a top on the clove, and it is a very tikha clove. And oh my God, I cannot eat more than two. A typical clove, the worst quality in the country ever manufactured, cannot be eaten one piece. Atul ji, correct me if I am wrong. You don't know that it is already extracted.
Yeah. Yes.
It is extracted in the factory. The nutritional input of a clove is already extracted in the form of a solvent extraction or a supercritical extraction, and what is remained without the breakage of the clove comes to our house neatly packed by some brand, and we buy it and consume it in our tea and coffee.
Yeah.
Or any other food product. So one needs to understand. So this is something which has to be understood. Coming to those who are startup, you have to go into value-added product. Period. There is no commodity you can deal with. Anything less than 2-3 CR, please don't go into commodity, because the moment you have bought the equipment, nobody will come to your rescue. You would have not planned for the season. You wouldn't have planned for the 12 months. You wouldn't have planned for the type of staff. You don't have process in place. You don't have SOP in place. You don't have lab. You don't know the lab testing process. And we are talking of being able to market and qualify with a customer and profitability and ROI, forget it. Do validate. It's like in your house. I'm giving you practical examples if you can relate with it. With your same stove, with your same tea powder, same milk, same water, same clove and cardamom, everybody will make a different tea. You know why? It is the process, the time motion study we call it. If in your own house you can make 5 different type of tea by 5 different people, imagine what will happen in a factory. If you don't have process in place, your staff is there is a hiring and firing, there is a reinvention of the HR wheel. What is the quality you are maintaining? What is the consistency you are selling? So if I use the same tea brand, I use the same clove, I cannot make the same tea what my mother has made, what my wife has made, what my sister has made, or what my daughter has made. How can a customer who is buying your tea can come to you, for the second time? First sales is a fluke sales, tukka sale. A repeat sale is what is quality. If you can repeatedly sell time and again, that means you're selling good product for any product, and that is what is important.
Yeah, that's correct. Atulji, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, my thoughts are very clear. See, I have my own methodology. Ki, first of all, who is the man behind the enterprises that we have to analyze. If the guy is from chemical industry or they are from large multinationals and able to raise the minimum equity of 10 to 15 crores, then they can think for extraction, because it is a very high-tech process. You require a lot of expert manpower with you, lot of equipment. But to start with, to come in the agribusiness, to work with the agriculture produce, first dehydration is the safer or comparatively easy than extraction. And if you consider the supercritical extraction, after dehydration, after powder, you can go for supercritical extraction afterwards, after 3 years, 4 years. Then it will be comfortable because you have make a footprint in the market. You know the backward linkage, you know the customers, their requirement, you know food safety, then the value addition process, marketing process, so that your investment will be secured. Because nowadays the sickness of such a type of extraction plant is also a very serious issue. So my suggestion, to start with considering your investment capacity and risk taking ability. Basically it is calculated risk taking ability. You start with dehydration, slowly go for extraction.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I hope our the audience has get the information what they were hoping and from this session. So apart from that, also we had one question. So I'll just reframe it from Mr. Ramakant Mishra. So what are the key quality parameters that change between a fresh and dehydrated product? Okay, and by what must be the business owner monitor to ensure their dehydrated powder meets the buyer specification, market demand basically. Atulji, can you add on this?
The question is, what type of quality parameters to be understood by the investor, by the promoter? Number one, in comparison with fresh
food.
Yeah, any fresh vegetable, application of fresh vegetable is totally different, and application of dehydrated powder is different. You cannot replace dehydrated powders by fresh, because the application is for fresh food, and dehydrated powder application is for processed food. So this basic understanding we have to make. Now, for example, if you consider you want to make a spinach soup, which is into powder form, just like Knorr or just like Kea. So you have to select the spinach with maturity of 40 to 45 days leaves. Then if first of all understand the application of this powder. If it is for soup, water dispersibility should be required, and that's why after taking the leaves to the process unit, after washing, after cutting, you have to blanch it and then dehydrate. And then you can make the powder. Your soup will be excellent. But if you require this what you call as spinach powder as a seasoning ingredient, then no need of doing what you call as blanching. After cutting, you directly dehydrate, make the powder. Now the quality parameter of the dehydrated product. Number one, if you see, first understand the application of the product by the buyer. The first is mesh size. How much mesh you require, whether it is 0.5 mm, 0.7 mm, 0.8 mm, or 40 mesh, 50 mesh, 60 mesh, 65 mesh. So particle size, number one. Number two, the total ash content. This total ash content will give you the rehydration property, yeah, whether your dehydration process is correct or not. Number three, your color value, that is green value or chlorophyll retention. These are the three basic parameters at least you should have to follow. Then the phytosanitary norms come, then other microbiology come, all the other parameters, there are standard minimum 12 parameters. Number one, sensory parameter. Number two, chemical parameter. Here, moisture content should be less than 7. Then your ash content, total ash content should be less than 5%. Then your microbiology for total plate count, it is less than 40,000. E. coli, salmonella absent, coliforms is less than 100. These are the standard specifications which is required to you have to meet your product with this specification. Then only the corporate buyer or the B2 buyer will accept your material. Shahrukh.
Yeah. So I hope Ramakanji got his answer. Well, okay. So moving ahead, Gauravji. So we have covered all the technical aspects. So assuming that once the plant is set up and running, and the first batches are produced, okay. So who are the ideal first customers and what channels and market segment should a new business owner target to generate revenue quickly and build creditability? So I believe this will be their marketing perspective. So Gauravji, please add on this.
Yeah. Based on the dehydration technology you have chosen and the types of raw material you have processed, based on the property of the raw material, you know what are the applications which would be used broadly, and thereby you need to do two broad things. First is get the certificate of analysis from the lab. That will cover the base parameters about the product. And second is the material safety data sheet, MSDS, which is required by large B2B processors. At least those who are corporates will be requiring these two documents, which will speak about the specification of the product, the enzymatic load, bacterial load, moisture level, pH, and any of the properties which is required. And then they can ask you for samples. So a lot of time they would ask for certain grammage of samples which needs to be provided, whether free or at cost, that's an entrepreneur's choice. But still it should carry those specifications so that anybody who is known to use that for a particular application knows that this carries this or this doesn't have this particular elements. So that is required. 5 years ago there was a time when you have to deal with the general trade or modern trade. Especially in dehydration, it would still be largely, I would say, a B2B space which was happening, or there are channels like Trade India, India Mart, which used to be there. Today you can reach out to your buyer directly, as we say D2C. You can reach out through quick commerce, you can reach out through a Shopify website, you can reach out through social handles, which is your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which doesn't charge you, and then you have certain tools to buy if at all you want to use for developing your pages to market. So there are a lot of customers who are eyeing for those particular things. So like there is something called as digital footprint. If I'll give you an example. If I'm buying a particular dehydrated powder and I'm searching online, if I go to any site where there are ads, I will see a sponsorer who is marketing that this is the company who is selling this dehydrated powder. So that happens. So this is called digital footprint. So when you are creating those footprints for yourself, that will help any buyer across the globe looking for those, and then you become members across different forums wherein you are able to participate. There are exhibitions, trade fairs, domestic and international. You can put your exhibition stalls out there, have leaflet, have samples of products. So this is the way you can do. Second is reaching out directly to the manufacturer. So, like we said, we know that we are manufacturing this product and we have some brief idea that these are the types of customers who are coming to us. Tap to those manufacturers. Like if somebody is a namkeen manufacturer who requires particular seasonings, or some seasoning manufacturers like Simega, VKL of the likes who are buying particular, you reach out to those, and then they will qualify your product. If it's successful, then they will go for buying in bulk. And then there are of course home users who will buy for various other applications. So that way.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So yeah, so moving ahead with the, I believe we have this. This is our last question. So might be a few of participants were asking about the PPT what Gauravji has mentioned. So after this question, I believe we can give you the quick round of 10-15 minutes. Gauravji, we can cover that in within time, no? I know
I'll
that
cover it.
will be a huge data, but as we
I'll
have
run
a
through the
constraint
PPT.
for the time,
I have to rush through the PPT, but I can still cover the important slides so that
yeah,
you are able
major
to take
points.
back audio visual recall. That is more important for a
Yes.
recall for you. So
Yeah, sure.
that will help.
So I'll just take one question with the Atulji, then we'll go to the PPT, what you or that data what you have. So Atulji, so as we are saying about
Yeah.
the quality and all that, okay, there must be a compliance side also, okay. Something many first-time entrepreneurs don't know the what kind of compliance, key licenses or certifications, regulatory requirement are required to while setting up a dehydration or extraction plant. Okay, so on that, if you can enlighten to the viewers like what kind of certifications they have to go and the little bit about the process, so that will be.
As rightly said by Gauravji, if somebody want to start the industry in the dehydration sector, it is not so easy sector. It is a little bit complicated because you have to deliver the safe food product. My best suggestion is you hire good mentor or give a good advisor, because putting the money and burning the money is not good. But still also the process I have to explain, because that is the question what you asked me. Number one, see, in what is the standard method? Anybody who want to come into dehydration sector, first he or she has to do the SWOT analysis. Based on the SWOT analysis, they want to see the minimum 5 years business plan. Then they want to position themselves with the help of projections after 5 years where they want to be at the position as far as volume is concerned, profit is concerned, investment is concerned. Based on this, again, they want to go for need-based product or resource-based product. If, for example, if they are into Sangli, then fresh turmeric can be dehydrated with the help of dehydration technology. So this is called as a resource-based product. But if they are into Mumbai, this Jain food or gravies will be the need. So they should have to go for need-based dehydration technique, because important is you have to roll the money, you have to grab the orders. When this is to be sorted out, then prepare the business plan. In the business plan, first of all, the product list what you want to process, then the raw material, then the agriculture calendar, and now the DPR you have to prepare, detailed project report. The detailed project report is the main important document that you have to prepare with the help of technical expert or your chartered accountant or any institute like Midcon, MCD or other people. With the help of that DPR, now they have to work on 2 or 3 fronts. Number one, statutory requirement. You have to understand whether you want to go for proprietor or you want to go for LLP or you want to go with private limited or pharma producer company or cooperative. So it depends upon your individual capacity and the mindset and the circumstances. If you want the easiest way to come into dehydration is private limited. If you have decided to go for private limited, then you have to find out a suitable CS, that is company secretary. Then register the company, prepare your main objectives, prepare your sub objectives, then the paid up capital, authorized capital, then the paid up capital. So your company will be formed. Then you will got a certificate of incorporation, TAN, then PAN. Now you have to go for at least finalizing the workplace. With the workplace, either if for small investment you go for 5 years lease rent agreement, then you have to go for Udyam registration. It is online MSME registration. Then you submit your business plan to the banker or the suitable financial institute for getting the funds. After confirmation of the funds, you start giving the orders to your machine manufacturers. Then the product, the work shed, what you are taking into lease rent, that should be prepared as per the safe food manufacturing practices, that is FSMS. So normally in our FSMS we call it as red zone, green zone, yellow zone and green zone. So your work shed should be prepared with the norms given by FSSI. On the FSSI website, everything is very detailed explained. Follow all these instructions. Another side, now you have to start the hiring process. You require at least one quality guy, one production supervisor, one procurement person, and some helpers. Another important thing, you have to find out the correct raw material supplier. Either you want to make the tie-up with your middleman in the APMC, or you want to work with FPC or the farmers, that you have to decide. Then your machines will be set up. Then you go for first GST number. Then when the machine installed, you go for FSSI. If you want to work with the corporates or B2B or D2C, go for central FSSI license. After that FSSI license, if your product comes into ready to eat food or fruits, vegetables, take IEC, import export code, then register with APIDA. If your product come into spices, go for IEC and take the registration or membership of Spices Board. These are the, and also register yourself with at least one chamber of commerce, at least CII, FICCI, ASOCAM, FIDO. So all these are the industrial association where you can get the network to get the good orders. So this is normally what the required, these are the process flow and the statutory requirement done by the investor. Shahrukh ji.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for such a insightful information. Gaurav ji,
Yeah,
so can you walk through with your PPT?
yeah, sure. Is it visible to all?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so I'll run through the broad dehydration technology so you are able to understand. So these are the broad, 8-10 different dehydration technology which I have mentioned. The first is of course, open to sky, खुले आसमान में सुखाना, जिसमें dust, bird droppings, infestations होता है. उसके बाद होता है through equipments. So first, smallest form is tray drying. We don't recommend for startups to go for tray drying because उसमें charring होती, burning होती. But this is we used as an interim, as a finisher at times. तो tray drying use होती. Second is solar drying, using a polyhouse environment, जिसके अंदर हम लोग dehydration करते हैं, जिसमें during the sunlight we take advantage of the insolence of the sunlight, and during winter and rainy season we add heat pump dryer to it. Okay. Third is the heat pump drying technology alone, जिसमें again it's a batch process, जिसमें we use heat pump technology using trays and trolleys for vegetables, fruits, herbs which are cut, sliced, washed, and then it is dehydrated. Vacuum drying, this is again a batch process. This is done in a vacuum environment in the absence of air, जिसमें हम कुछ fruits, vegetables को कर सकते हैं, and then people have those fruits, vegetables as a snacking item. Freeze drying, this is a very interesting technology which existed since World War II, जिसमें हम fruits, vegetables, herbs, processed meal, meat, milk, हर चीज कर सकते हैं. This is a versatile technology, and this uses two broad technology. One is a IQF, and second is freeze drying. So IQF is the freezing part, and drying is wherein we use the sublimation process. I will cover this quickly. Conveyor using conveyorized drying is called belt drying. Then we have something which is called spray drying. जो हमारे मिल्क पाउडर्स होते हैं हमारे रूम्स में, होटल्स रूम्स में, बाजू में कॉन्कॉक्शंस में डेयरी वाइटनर्स या डेयरी क्रीमर्स, डेयरी पाउडर्स आपको मिलता है. दिस इज स्प्रे ड्राइड पाउडर. Fluidized bed drying, this is used majorly for very low temperature drying for majorly in pharmaceutical. This is fluidized bed drying जिसमें एक air जाती है नीचे से and that helps in dehydration. Last is the drum drying. So this is a mix of two category of drying wherein we have covered batch and continuous process. Coming to solar drying, इस तरह के एक पॉली शीट के अंदर में हम एक कैपेसिटी के हिसाब से डिफाइन कर सकते हैं जिसमें एक रैक होगा जिसमें मल्टीपल ट्रे ट्रॉलीज होगी ऑन व्हील्स विदाउट व्हील्स, और उसके बेस पे हम टेम्परेचर सेट करके वी कैन वॉश, क्लीन, कट, स्लाइस, डाइस द फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स एंड देन डिहाइड्रेट. क्या क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें? वी कैन डू हर्ब्स लाइक फेनुग्रीक, वी कैन डू कड़ी पत्ता, we have ayurvedic medicinal herbs which can be done, vegetables, all these vegetables can be done. जिंजर इसमें कम की जाती है, जिंजर मेजॉरिटी इज डन इन बेल्ट ड्राइंग, बट अगर हमें छोटी क्वांटिटी में करना है थोड़े फार्म का प्रोड्यूस यूज करके, बट यू कैन यूज दैट. So these are the various kinds of fruits also we can do, wherein people have mentioned passion fruit है, orange है, कुछ करना है तो हम we can use this. There are rose petals, flowers, hibiscus which can be used. A broad process technology right from procurement from farm to sorting, grading, washing, cutting, placing on trays, temperature setting, periodic product shuffling. इसमें मैनुअली शफल करना पड़ेगा प्रोडक्ट को, जो प्रोडक्ट ऊपर फेसिंग है उसको मैनुअली पलटाना पड़ेगा टू द अदर साइड टू इंस्पेक्ट द प्रोडक्ट, सॉर्ट इट अगेन, पैक इट. हैव अ मेटल डिटेक्टर. ड्यूरिंग आवर डिस्कशन हमने काफी सारी चीजें डिस्कस की. मेटल डिटेक्टर कई जगह पे होता नहीं है, प्लांट्स में डोंट हैव मेटल डिटेक्टर. तो लोगों को मेटल डिटेक्टर क्या होता है, मैग्नेट डिटेक्टर क्या होता है, डिफरेंस नहीं पता होता, तो दे नीड टू हैव दिस डिवाइस. Secondary packaging, store and dispatch. Broad investment level, one who can start solar drying. Heat pump drying. क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स कर सकते हैं? ओरिगेनो, रोजमेरी, सेज, सेवरी, these are all herbs. इसके कई सारे प्रोडक्ट्स आते हैं जो छोटे छोटे ग्लास बॉटल्स में आपको अमेजोन पे भी मिल जाएंगे. लॉट ऑफ सीजनिंग कंपनीज सेल. दिस इज अ वेरी गुड बिजनेस फॉर स्टार्टअप्स. यू कैन यूज दिस हाई वैल्यू प्रोडक्ट्स विच कैन बी डिहाइड्रेटेड. इनके एप्लीकेशंस राइट फ्रॉम सूप्स टू बेबी प्रोडक्ट्स to smoothies, to energy bar, laddus, to baby, forages can be used, ready to cook products. This can also be used into juices and beverages. Various advantages which we have covered over fresh. और जब season नहीं होता, you can take advantage of such products. हम पिज़्ज़ा खाते हैं, पिज़्ज़ा में oregano, chili flake आता है. This can be used using this technology. Some international players who are doing this. Vacuum drying. We covered vacuum drying. This is done for some premium value-added product जिसको हम स्नैकिंग की तरह खा सकते हैं. इसमें दो कॉन्सेप्ट चलता है, एक वैक्यूम ड्राइंग होता है, एक वैक्यूम फ्राइंग होता है जिसमें थोड़ा ऑयल पोर्शन आता है. दिस इज ड्राइंग हियर. तो इसमें आप यू कैन ड्राई वैक्यूम प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक ओकरा, यू कैन डू करेला इन दिस, भिंडी इन दिस, एंड हैव दैट एज अ स्नैकिंग इंस्टेड ऑफ अ जंक स्नैकिंग. सिमिलरली ड्राई फ्रूट्स कर सकते हैं, ट्रेल मिक्सेस कर सकते हैं, लॉट ऑफ सीड्स वी कैन डू इट. सम फ्रूट्स और वेजिटेबल्स विच वी कैन नॉट ईट लाइक जैक फ्रूट, ये इसमें कर सकते हैं. इट्स अ वेरी न्यूट्रिशनल प्रोडक्ट. सो IQF इज इंडिविजुअल क्विक फ्रीजिंग. एक एक दाने को, मटर के एक एक दाने को, कॉर्न के एक एक दाने को, भिंडी को, ब्रोकोली को, इन सबको हर घर में एक फ्रोजन मटर होती है. दिस इज इंडिविजुअल क्विक फ्रीजिंग. सो इस बिजनेस में, ड्राइंग में, IQF इज वन मेजर पार्ट विच वी विल सी हाउ. सो जो IQF प्लांट होता है उसमें मटर एक मेजर बिजनेस होता है, फिर हमारा मिक्स वेजिटेबल्स होता है, फ्रूट्स होता है, विच कैन बी डन इंडिविजुअल क्विक फ्रीजिंग. तो कुछ लोग ने पूछा हम लोग पैशन फ्रूट को क्या कर सकते हैं, ऑरेंजेस को क्या कर सकते हैं. वन ऑफ देम कैन बी दिस. फ्रीज ड्राइंग. सो क्लीनिंग, कटिंग के बाद हम IQF करते हैं. दिस इज 50% ऑफ द फ्रीज ड्राइंग प्रोसेस. जो हमारे घर में फ्रोजन मटर आती है दैट इज IQF. उसके बाद उसमें एक कट लगा के स्लो हीटिंग करना पड़ता है फॉर अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन, जिसको हम बोलते हैं लायोफिलाइजेशन. ये एक प्रोसेस होता है जिसमें द न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट इज मैक्सिमम विच कैन बी एज लॉन्ग एज 20 to 25 years फॉर अ फ्रूट और अ वेजिटेबल. फॉर मील्स और मीट इट कैन बी 18 to 24 months. एंड सिमिलरली one has to do lab testing to get that parameters rectified. Nutritional value is maintained around 99.9%. Moisture level 5% and below. All nutritional vitamins, minerals are maintained. No additives and preservative. Complete reconstitution. आप पानी में डालते हो तो you can reconstitute. This is a very good meal for the Air Force, the Navy, the Defense Forces. This is very good for people who are traveling abroad for education or for fun, pleasure. Weekend travel करते, weekend outing करते, we can carry those freeze dried products. जो जैन लोग हैं, जो लोग बाहर का खाना नहीं खाते, घर से खाना ले जाते, जो vegetarians हैं, they can use this. Lot of girls, students, male students who do not know how to cook are going for study abroad and want to have घर का खाना. This is the best technology. So it uses the basic process of processing, which is washing, cutting, destoning, then grading, slicing, dicing. Then you freeze it to minus 38 degree, and thereafter you start the sublimation process, which is a vacuum heating process. उसके बाद then you do the modified atmosphere packaging या vacuum packaging. क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स कर सकते हैं? We can do vegetables like mushrooms, sweet corn, herbs. We can do fruits. आपने पूछा किसी ने पैशन फ्रूट कैसे कर सकते हैं, ऑरेंज कैसे कर सकते हैं? You can do freeze drying of those. Ready to eat. फ्लाइट में हम पोहा उपमा खाते हैं, बिरयानी खाते हैं. This can be done. डेयरी में camel milk is being freeze dried in Rajasthan. Goat milk is a very good property. Mother's milk, coffee, tea. Coffee we drink so often is the best freeze dried product available in every household. We don't know. It's a premium product. It is freeze dried. It's an instant coffee. पानी डालते हो तो कॉफी घुल जाती है, उसमें कोई सेडिमेंटेशन या रेसिड्यू सीड्स नहीं रहते. Why? Because it's an instant coffee. क्या क्या डिहाइड्रेट कर सकते हैं? फ्रूट्स का आप लोग सीरियल्स में यूज कर सकते हो. पीस का, स्वीट कॉर्न का यू कैन यूज इन इंस्टेंट टू सूप प्रीमिक्सेस या टेस्ट मेकर जैसे हम कहते हैं. लीव्स का, हिबिस्कस टी, रोज लीव्स यू कैन यूज इन टी मेकिंग or premixes for teas. Lenses, pearls, you can all do freeze dried and use it for various product applications. जो शेप है, साइज है, वो बहुत रिटेन रहता है कंपेयर टू एनी अदर फॉर्म ऑफ डिहाइड्रेशन जिसमें श्रिवल होता है या श्रिंकेज होता है. All these products are available on Amazon and many other e-commerce sites. Camel milk I'm showing you here. This is camel milk. These are fruits. This is freeze dried coffee. This is sea feed, animal feed, bird feed, a whole banana being freeze dried. These are your munchies. जैसे हम चॉकलेट्स खाते हैं, बच्चों को चॉकलेट देते हैं ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए. You can give this to kids. See the price of it. 10 ग्राम की वैल्यू 130 MRP. These are meals in tubs and these are meals in takeaway packaging. Freeze dried fruits in the form of slices and dices, and this is in the form of powder. The best part of freeze drying, you can start with one small capacity to a modular and then scale up as per respective modular sizes. क्या क्या freeze drying कर सकते हैं? The entire thing including fats. The fats are not advisable as much, but then yes, all other forms can be done. कुछ दोस्तों ने citrus fruit पूछा, mango पूछा, so all these forms of products can be done. Ready to eat. पहले जब हम foreign travel करते थे, we used to carry something called RTE. RTE क्या होता है? Gravy, curries, राइस, बिरयानी या आपके जो इस फॉर्म्स में आते हैं राजमा, छोले चावल, जो हम पहले ले जाते हैं MTR ऑफ द लाइक्स, हल्दीराम्स. ये प्रोसेस में हम लोग कुकिंग करने के बाद रिटॉर्टिंग करते थे, which used to be 121 degree and thereafter we used to put it into a container या माइक्रोवेव करके खाते थे उसको. तो we used to basically heat and eat in this. इसमें और फ्रीज ड्राइंग में फर्क क्या है? ये 275 से 300 ग्राम का पैकेट आता है, ये 70 से 95 ग्राम का पैकेट आता है. एंड यू कैन जस्ट ऐड वाटर. यू डोंट नीड टू हीट इट, यू जस्ट नीड टू ऐड वाटर. पोर एंड ईट. कन्वे ड्राइंग. सो अनियन, जिंजर, garlic, these are the majority of the products. These are done belt based drying. These are the most used technology for drying this kind of fruits and vegetables. Broad production idea about India, some stats, applications, advantages of dehydrated products. Defense, HoReCa, pharma, B2B, exports, private labeling, white labeling आप कर सकते हो. A broad process of dehydration using belt drying. मार्केट एप्लीकेशंस आई हैव मेंशन. सॉस, जब सॉस का इतना मार्केट है तो हर सॉस में गार्लिक, जिंजर, अनियन के पाउडर्स होते हैं, टैमरिन पाउडर्स होते हैं. दिस इज वेयर इट कैन गो. मस्टर्ड सॉस, लॉट ऑफ इनपुट्स ऑफ डिहाइड्रेशन गोज इनटू दिस. स्प्रे ड्राइंग. स्प्रे ड्राइंग क्या होता है? जो हमारे होटल में मैंने बताया आपके बाजू में मिल्क पाउडर होता है, दोज आर स्प्रे ड्राइड. तो मिल्क पाउडर इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल. टोमेटो पाउडर इज द सेकंड बेस्ट एग्जांपल. मैंगो पाउडर हम कर सकते हैं. वी कैन डू टैमरिन, वी कैन डू एनी फ्रूट. विच कैन हैव अ कैरियर, और एक कैरियर में मेल्टोडेक्सिन ज़्यादा डाला जाता है ताकि वो जब स्प्रे करते हैं मशीन तो नीचे गिरने के लिए, उसको ग्रेविटी के लिए, वेट के लिए एक कैरियर डाला जाता है जिसमें अपार्ट फ्रॉम द पल्प और जूस ऑफ द एक्चुअल फ्रूट वी ऐड सर्टेन कैरियर ताकि वो नीचे गिर पाए। कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स और जो हम कर सकते हैं, बेवरेजेस में वी कैन हैव एनर्जी बार्स, ग्रैनुलास, लड्डूज, वी कैन यूज दिस। इस तरह का स्प्रे ड्राइंग कॉन्सेप्ट होता है जहां ऊपर से नोजल से स्प्रे होता है तो प्रोडक्ट नीचे आता है। ड्रम ड्राइंग, सो दिस इज द ड्राइंग टेक्नोलॉजी जिसमें आपने प्रिंगल्स खाए होंगे, यू वुड हैव यूज सम पैलेट्स, जिसको हम फ्राइम्स बोलते हैं, जो पोटैटो बेस्ड होते हैं, उसमें एप्लीकेशंस इसके यूज होते हैं। रेडी टू कुक क्या होता है? ऑल दिस फॉर्म्स ऑफ नूडल्स, पास्तास, कॉर्नफ्लेक्स, ओट्स, मिलेट्स, ड्रिंक जूसेस, प्रीमिक्सेस, पेलेट्स, वेजिटेबल्स में ये सब फॉर्म्स ऑफ डिहाइड्रेशन, फ्रोजन स्नैक्स में ये है, पार्शियल रेडी मील्स में भी कहना। तो दिस आर ऑल द रेडी टू कुक कैटेगरी। तो हमारे जो डिहाइड्रेट प्रोडक्ट है इस ऑल कम्स अंडर रेडी टू कुक कैटेगरी। हमें इसे कुक करके खाना, हम डायरेक्टली नहीं कंज्यूम कर सकते इसे। Steps before venturing, so prime reason for entering into food processing, your investment level, your location for manufacturing, आपको B2B प्रोडक्ट बनाना है या B2C, मास प्रोडक्ट है या फॉर क्लास प्रोडक्ट आप बना रहे हो, सिलेक्टिव बायर्स के लिए है, प्रोसेसिंग टेक्नोलॉजी क्या चूज करना चाहते हो, आपका पॉकेट क्या है, यूएसपी क्या है, वेदर यू आर नियर द रॉ मटेरियल और यू आर डूइंग वैल्यू एडिशन। सो आप किसी की सैटिएशन, हंगर को मिटा रहे हो, हेल्दी स्नैकिंग है, या किस पॉइंट पे देना चाह रहे हो, व्हाट इज योर प्राइस पॉइंट, स्वॉट एनालिसिस, आर यू एंटरिंग अ रेड ओशन और अ ब्लू ओशन, इज इट अ जनरल ट्रेड प्रोडक्ट और अ मॉडर्न ट्रेड प्रोडक्ट, ये ऑनलाइन बिकेगा या ब्रिक एंड मोटर। ऑल दिस फैक्टर्स वुड डिसाइड कि हमें किस चीज में जाना चाहिए। Advantages of starting a food vegetable dehydration process in industry: abundance of raw material available in India. You can do both organic and inorganic, traceability के साथ। Labor is cheap in India, labor बहुत available है। There are a lot of incentives, benefits of government schemes if you can use for especially the large projects. Smaller ones you can go with your own investment. There is access to loans which you can take. Some stats of export data of tonnage and in terms of value in dollar million terms, you can see right from 2017 to 23, same for metric tons in terms of different mixed veggies for potato. Success factors for this, for a promoter, processors and plant, for products, for consumer, सबके क्या advantages है, किसको क्या देखना चाहिए। Success factor for a promoter is you have a pride in promoting and processing, you feel good about the product, take constructive criticism कि आपके प्रोडक्ट में कुछ नेगेटिव फीडबैक आता है कस्टमर का, you can incorporate and implement and improvise the process and product, एम्प्लॉय सेफ्टी पे ध्यान रखते हो, you have a consumer centric approach, you have eye for detail what a customer is requiring and what you are processing, you are involved in manufacturing, not remotely manufacturing कि कोई मेरा staff manufacture कर रहा है, you should know the do's and don'ts in processing, quality conscious हो, quality assurance का बंदा आपके पास है, you have a plant manager, process manager, you are value added driven, फैक्ट्री कैसी होना चाहिए, स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट होना चाहिए, इट शुड बी हाइजेनिक, प्रिवेंशन एंड प्रेडिक्टिव मेंटेनेंस करना चाहिए, ना कि पोस्टमार्टम जब कोई इक्विपमेंट खराब होता है, यू शुड हैव सफिशिएंट स्पेयर पार्ट्स अवेलेबल, नहीं तो प्रोडक्टिविटी का लॉस होता है। स्टाफ एंगेजमेंट एंड डेज हमने कहा 12 महीने होना चाहिए, 300 दिन, 275 से 300 दिन होना चाहिए, इफ नॉट 330 डेज। हाइजेनिक होना चाहिए, शुड बी एम्प्लॉय फ्रेंडली, एम्प्लॉय शुड नॉट लीव। अभी आपने सुना नोएडा में काफ़ी ऐसा सुनने में आया, लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज पीपल हैव डन स्ट्राइक फ्रॉम द लेबर यूनियन। तो इस तरह की चीज़ों में आप कैसे करोगे? एनवायरमेंट एंड सेंट्रल पोल्यूशन एंड स्टेट पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड नॉर्म्स फॉलो करते हो, हैसअप कंप्लायंट है, वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग कंजर्विंग करते हैं। दिस आर द एडवांटेजेस इन अ प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट व्हिच वन शुड फॉलो। प्रोडक्ट्स में नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन टेस्ट एंड टेक्सचर, कंसिस्टेंसी मिलना चाहिए कंज्यूमर को, रिलायबल प्रोडक्ट होना चाहिए। योर फैक्ट्री कैन मेक वन रॉ मटेरियल एंड प्रोड्यूस one finished product or can have multiple raw material and multiple finished good. Practical packaging, easy to handle, easy to transport, easy to open and consume. Convenient, ease of handling, usage application advantage होना चाहिए for a user. Without adulteration as much as possible. A factory, a team should always do continuous research and development to come up with improvised product या new category of products. For consumer आप उसको क्या बेच रहे हो? Healthy to consume, easily available, ease of cooking, स्टोरेबिलिटी आसान है और प्राइसिंग ठीक ठाक है, मैं प्राइसिंग सस्ता वर्ड यूज नहीं कर रहा हूँ, राइट प्राइसिंग वर्ड यूज कर रहा हूँ. यू कैन मेक अ प्राइस ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट इवन हायर if your product is pure and has value to it. Some export data. Yeah. So that's it from my side.
Yeah. Really great, insightful information what Gaurav has shared and shown in the PPT. I know there is much more data he has, but due to constraint of time, he is not able to, or we are not able to proceed right now. But definitely, for any concerns, we are there. You can connect with us. So I'll just take a moment to introduce what RIECO can do in the end, as we are coming to end the session. So Gauravji and Atulji are now associated with RIECO. So now RIECO has got the end-to-end solution from concept to commissioning. For the dehydration, we have two expertise with us. Then apart from that, in this later stage, we have the grinding system expertise, as we are in the business for 50 years. Apart from that, we also have the continuous continuous steam sterilization with the French technology. So if you have any concerns with the dehydrated foods, vegetables, spices, you can connect with us. We'll connect you with our expertise, Mr. Atul, Mr. Gauravji, okay, with any time. So I believe, so with this wonderful session, we are coming to close this. So thank you for our both panelists for their wonderful information, insight to the market, which will help the persons, organization owners, startup guys who are able to want to penetrate in the dehydration segment. Thank you, Atulji. Thank you, Gauravji. So yeah, apart from this, if anyone has a question, then they can connect with us. We have mentioned our contact email ID and contact number. I'll also request the viewers who has joined the session, please respond to the poll mentioned in the chat box. So that will help us to create more or arrange more sessions like this in future.
Thank you for giving an opportunity, Gauravji and Shahrukh. All the best for your the participant. Please come in the sector. It is very sunrise sector. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay. So we are closing this session.